I've had a lot of leadership training. Nothing prepares you for phone calls from officers asking if there's going to be a funeral, asking if he's going to make it. On the day of the incident, one of the detectives saw the wanted person coming out of their house. Other units responded. We followed the suspect to a location.
I started following him, started letting the other officers know where he was, what he was wearing, and what he was doing. I pull off a little bit further off to the side so that Rogers can go around. Rogers approaches him in the parking lot, and as he exits his vehicle, and I could see like they just been doing this a long time, so you could sense like something was off. He just kept his eyes locked forward and kept walking straight. And so Rogers approaches him.
It was an ordinary takedown. We had done this 100 times before. In this incident, it's your worst nightmare as a sergeant.
I approached the subject. There was some level of resistance. We had an altercation, and I was shot in the process. And it's a thump. And I heard that multiple times, probably before I finally felt that I was shot, at which time you're just trying to survive. There is no process. You want to survive.
And so as he's shooting, I start running up to Rogers' patrol car. As I start shooting at him, he starts shooting at me. And then at that point, it gets a little blurry.
I nominated Officer Rogers for a Purple Heart because when he was attempting to take a gang member into custody, the gang member fired 6 times, striking him in the shoulder and the head, trying to take his life. I nominated Officer Will Johnson for a Medal of Honor because when this happened, without any regard for his own safety, returned fire at the suspect, was shot at himself, and then applied a tourniquet to Officer Rogers, which probably ultimately saved his life.
I do remember Will Johnson showing up and applying the tourniquet, which I'll forever be grateful for because it literally gave me new life. I remember starting to fade and he put that tourniquet on and it literally brought me back. And yeah, I'm grateful.
You don't really think about it. You're just doing whatever it is that you've trained yourself to do. And luckily in that case, it worked out for us.
I would specifically like to thank him for jumping into action, his instincts, his intuition, and his bravery. I mean, that was courage like no other.
What I'd like the public to understand is there's a possibility that we don't make it home that night. Officer Rogers, through the grace of God or through luck or whatever, was shot 6 times and he survived.
I'd like to thank the trauma staff at Grady. I'd like to thank the public for the thoughts and prayers and everyone who called just to tell me it's gonna be okay. Yeah, I'm just grateful to be here. I'd like to thank God. And yeah, I know I'm blessed and thank you.